my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and I finally decided, hey, I really should show my Warren collection a bit. So I'm going to show the first 30 issues of Vampirella from Warren Publishing. And I'm going to show some bonus stuff as well. So I hope you enjoy seeing some early Vampirella from Warren Publishing. These are all magazines. But if you like Vampirella, like I do, we're going to start out with, showing some Warren Vampirella. So first one is one of my favorite covers from the run, actually. I always love this cover. This is Vampirella number 30. And this is actually the first appearance of Pantha. Pantha is kind of like an Egyptian character who basically can turn into a panther. So this is her first appearance. That's Vampirella there, though. Just kind of a fun character who becomes kind of a ally to Vampirella. So Vampirella number 30. Next is Vampirella number 29. And you'll notice that a lot of my Vampirellas are actually in fairly low grade. And the reason being, when I bought these, I was in university. And I would buy I buy the most affordable copies that I could get, and I never really bothered to upgrade them. I should have upgraded some of these. Like this one could have used some upgrades, I just buy the most affordable copies because I didn't have much money. I was really poor. That's kind of the reason why they're in a little bit lower grade, some of them. And then we got Vampirella number 28. This is actually a higher grade one. Nice presented copy. And then we have Vampirella 27. And they actually use this in the Ron Goulart book set. They use this cover, reuse this cover for that as well. If you read the books, there's actually 6 books that they created about Vampirella, and this was used for one of them. So Vampirella number 27. And they always say this now full color comics. That's not actually true. They were black and white, but they would have like a color insert. So this is Vampirella number 28, or 26, I should say, 26. And shows some of the interiors that will be in there. And we have Vampirella 25, decapitated lion cover. Kind of funny. So this is number 25. And then we have number 24. You can see why I like these. A very sexy character, Vampirella. And the stories, for the most part, were fun, a bit campy. They're kind of fun, entertaining stories. So this is Vampirella number 24. And to this day, actually, Vampirella is possibly probably my favorite female superhero or character. I like her even more than Wonder Woman. So this is Vampirella number 23. And this is San Julian cover. Another really great cover. So 23. And then we got Vampirella number 22. This always kind of reminds me of like a classic, like Hammer Films style cover for like one of their Dracula movies. So this is Vampirella 22. And then we have Dracula number 21. Nice yellow cover. And then we have Dracula number 20, bondage cover. Now, not all the early Vampirellas would have a Vampirella on the cover, so that's why they were more consistent about putting Vampirella on the covers later on. That was from 1972. Now, this is actually an important one. This is a key issue. This is Vampirella number 19. And this is actually the first by Jose Gonzalez, also known as Pepe Gonzalez. So this is his first cover art on Vampirella. And it also features, like, from the editor, J.R. Cochran. He did like kind of a explanation of the origins of Vampirella, the character herself. And he basically explains how the inspiration for Vampirella was Barbarella from the movies. There's a lot of parallels between Vampirella and Barbarella. So they wanted some character that kind of, had the same vibe as Barbarella. I actually collect Barbarella as well. I have actually the early appearances of Barbarella before the movie came out. I actually didn't realize that there was a comic of Barbarella until later, when I started doing a little bit of research and found that there was earlier comic appearances, and actually originally it appeared as a comic in France. So that's Barbarella. but Vampirella, this is kind of a cool cover. It's a great one because it has all the early covers of Vampirella on it. And that was number 19 from 1972. And we have Vampirella 18. And Vampirella 18 is the first appearance of Lilith, who is Vampirella's mother. Now, if you know anything about vampire lore, Lilith is actually a very interesting character. She was considered to be the first woman, even before Eve, and she was sort of a dark figure, evil, and considered to be the very first vampire. So what better mother to have, right, for Vampirella? So yes, this is the first appearance of Lilith, and this is Vampirella number 18. Really great cover too. And then we have Vampirella 17. Nice Egyptian style cover, and with all these skulls, and just really great cover. So this is Vampirella 17. Then we have Vampirella 16. And this is actually the first time that Vampirella meets Dracula in the comic. And Dracula kind of is one of the bigger antagonists for Vampirella. So yeah, so this is Dracula when he meets Vampirella. It's cool that it's on the cover. That would be considered the first full appearance of Dracula in the Vampirella series. But he did make a cameo in issue number 15. And he was in like a story inside of this, just a cameo appearance. So this is Vampirella number 15, and just a really cool cover. As I said, they didn't really have like consistent Vampirella covers until much later, but this is a really cool cover regardless. And then we have the Vampirella number 14. With the girl going up against a Cyclops kind of character. Now, a lot of these Vampirellas were not devoted fully to Vampirella. They would have stories like other horror-related stories. So this is Vampirella number 14. But by that point in Vampirella 14, there was stories that were devoted fully to Vampirella. The early Vampirella were more like she was almost like a narrator or hostess for the show, for the comics, similar to like the Crypt Master or Crypt Keeper. So this is Vampirella number 13. Another great cover. And then we got another important issue. This is Vampirella number 12. This is actually the first interior art by Jose Gonzalez, or Pepe Gonzalez. So this is just another important key for people that collect his art. So yeah, this is Vampirella number 12. And then we got Vampirella number 11. And this is actually the very first appearance of a major character for Vampirella, Mordecai Pendragon, who's kind of like this washed up, drunken stage magician, who basically is her like sidekick. He basically, helps her through her various adventures. So yeah, Pendragon. This is his first appearance. He is a really major character for Vampirella. So this is Vampirella number 11. And then we have Vampirella number 10. So another great sexy cover. And then we have Vampirella number 9. Now, Vampirella 9 is another important issue. What happens is Vampirella, they have to come up with some logic for Vampirella, because she can't just be a bloodthirsty vampire all the time. So in this, she finds the Blood Chronicles. And the Blood Chronicles are like a book that basically teaches her how to create a magic serum that basically allows her, if she drinks the serum, she doesn't need blood. So it's one of those things that is very important in the Vampirella Warren stories, because it allows her to, be a normal person in a way. But also, it's a great tool, because what they'll do is, whenever they want Vampirella to do something crazy, well, they'll say, "Oh, she can't get her blood serum," or her blood serum vial breaks, something. And it would be always like a situation where Vampirella would have to, would go crazy, kind of go in a berserker mode and like go blood crazy and kill a whole bunch of bad guys. So that's. But this is the first appearance of the blood serum. So this is Vampirella number 9. And even more important to the Vampirella storyline is Vampirella number 8. Now, Vampirella 8 is really where Vampirella becomes, I want to say serious character, but it's very, I can't really use the word serious that seriously. But originally, when Vampirella was written, they actually did have her with a story, like an origin story. But it wasn't until Vampirella number 8 where you get Vampirella being a fully fledged out character. And she was written by Archie Goodwin. And basically, this is where she starts getting like her own storylines. So as I said, before she was just a narrator, now she's getting her full storylines. And she also gets her first antagonists, which is, within the Vampirella story, it's actually really cool the way they set up the antagonists. So the two antagonists that she gets are Adam and Conrad Van Helsing. And Conrad Van Helsing is the father, and Adam Van Helsing, which if you've read Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, that Adam Van Helsing is the one that goes around hunting vampires. Well, in the Vampirella story, he is a younger protege to his father, Conrad Van Helsing. And he kind of falls in love with Vampirella, and he becomes the love interest for Vampirella. But they're also hunting Vampirella. And it's only until the next issue where she gets the blood serum that they decide that, oh, okay, maybe she's okay. maybe we can tolerate her being a vampire. And so they all work together later. But there was a lot of confrontation in the early issues between the three of them. But at the same time, Adam Van Helsing was truly in love with her. So just a really interesting setup and kind of a interesting dynamic with those three characters. And that was all set up in this issue. And then, as I said, after this issue, every magazine would include at least one Vampirella story, and then some were fully Vampirella stories. So This is Vampirella number 8, a very big issue, important issue for Vampirella. The next one is just a really great cover. This is Vampirella number 7, and this is a Frank Frazetta cover, and it's also a cover where it was really originally done as a poster. And the poster, I wrote it down just so I have it. Oh yes, the Sun Goddess. So this was like a poster. I actually have the poster of this as well, strangely enough. And it was just a really great poster. They decided to use it for the Vampirella cover. A lot of the early Vampirella covers were by Frank Frazetta, and this is one of the ones that's one of the more famous of the covers. So just a really great cover, Frank Frazetta. And I paid, way back in the day, $4 for this book. That was big money. I was trying to aim for like $2 to $3. $4 was huge. Okay, the next one is Vampirella number 6. And this is actually a Ken Kelly cover. It's his first cover art. But they didn't like the way he did the face on this girl. So they had Frank Frazetta redo the face. So this is a Frank Frazetta cover as well as Ken Kelly. They worked together on it for that reason. But Ken Kelly's actually a really great artist. This is Vampirella number 6. Okay, next one is Vampirella number 5, another Frank Frazetta cover. Nice dinosaur and prehistoric looking like cover. So yeah, Vampirella number 5. Vampirella number 4, another Frank Frazetta cover. I believe so. Oh, sorry, maybe I'm wrong on that one. It's not a Frank Frazetta cover. It's actually Jones and Blode cover. Sorry. I was thinking, when I saw it, I was like, oh, wait, but that's not right. I knew that I was wrong when I was saying that. So yeah, so this is Vampirella number 4. Not a Frank Frazetta cover. And then we got Vampirella number 3. This is actually one of the rarer issues of Vampirella. Now, at the back of Vampirella, they would always put in the list of all the back issues. You could order the back issues. That was something that was very unique about Warren Publishing, where you could order the back issues of pretty much all their comics, or magazines, I should say. But early on, you would see that certain issues would disappear, that they would say, oh, they're no longer in stock. And this was one of those ones where within a couple issues, this was no longer available. So it just, I think it had a low print run or something, but it's considered very scarce. So this is one of the harder issues to get. And actually, it used to be between number 1 and number 3, they were sort of always competing to see which one was the more expensive, because it's just so scarce that it would usually command a fairly high premium. So this is Vampirella number 3. And actually, this one was harder for me to get than Vampirella number 1 by far. And then we have Vampirella number 2. And this is actually the first appearance of a couple of characters. This is the first appearance of Draculina and Evie. Evilly? That's Evilly right there. That's the cousin of Vampirella. And Draculina is a character that has currently got a new series through Dynamite Comics, and actually is made this book quite hot. So this book has become much more valuable as of late. So that's Vampirella number 2, and to finish it, we got Vampirella number 1. This is another Frank Frazetta cover, and it's possibly the most famous Vampirella cover because, well, it is issue number 1, but it's also a great cover. So this is Vampirella number 1. Just a beautiful cover. I love this cover. So yeah, so that's the Vampirella collection in terms of all the books. from 1 to 30. Now actually it goes, Vampirella runs actually to 112. And then there was a 113 that was created by Harris Publishing after Warren had collapsed. Those are all cool books, and if you really want me to show them, I will show them in a future video if you ask. Okay, because I have them all. But I'm going to show a few bonus things just for the people that made it all the way to this point. And the bonus things are some of the cool little extras. And actually I had other things, but I didn't bring them. And one of the things is the Vampirella fan club. Now there's actually 2 versions of this. This is a later version, and then you get the earlier version. There's like slight differences between the 2. You'll notice that the fan club is a bit bigger, like the word, and the Vampirella herself is a bit bigger. And then you'll notice that there's a numbering on this one, and then there's the lettering is different. But yeah, so there. So I ended up getting a couple of these Vampirella membership cards, and on the back is just nothing on the back. I don't know why. Very simple card. Another thing that's really rare for Vampirella collectors is the Vampirella door sticker, or decal they called it. It's just like this big sticker. These are quite rare. These can go for anywhere from $100 to $200 just because they're so rare. Usually they got used. So yeah, Vampirella sticker. And then another fun thing that I brought just because I always like showing this is my Dracula's Castle dirt pendant, which is always great. You'll notice that it's shaped like a coffin, and it has actual, not that fake dirt, actual dirt from Transylvania. So I always thought that was funny. And it even comes with a certificate of authenticity signed by James Warren. And there was 5,000 of these made. And you could buy it for the low price of $9.95, which was huge money, because if you think about that, these magazines were selling for about 50 cents. So in today's math, this would be like 150 bucks or something like that back in the day. Like just crazily priced item. So I don't think they sold that well. But you know, I have actually 2 of them. So yeah, so Dracula's pendant, those were offered at the back of Warren Publishing, and they're just fun. I just think I always like showing it. So those are my Vampirella, first section of Vampirella. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I tried to like explain all the different keys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions about Vampirella or about Warren Publishing, put it in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer your questions. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.